Just 2 short weeks ago, Triv was just an audio guy. Now he's a technical director. Look at that. Look at him. He's doing an amazing job. Thanks, Triv. So is the rest of the crew. What's my buddy with the red hat's name on UNLV? Dave? What? We'll catch it later, and I'll thank him later.
N-I-C-K.
Nick. This is why I should have my earpiece in. Nick is his name. Nick's doing a great job on audio, as you can tell, right? And we're broadcasting live here at NAB 2017. Welcome back to the live coverage, continuing live coverage on BeTerrific here at the LiveU booth on the BeTerrific set. How you doing? This is Trisha Mass.
Hi.
She is an amazing woman, Eric. Eric's hanging around. I said, you know what, Eric, don't leave. You know, because you're an amazing camera operator from the Society of Camera Operators, and lighting is so important, and we're going to talk lighting, but we're also going to talk wingsuiting, because you are a wingsuit pilot, which makes you an athlete, which also makes you somewhat nuts. I mean, it's crazy, right?
Somewhat. It's controlled risk. Controlled risk reward. I think our industry is entirely built around that, to be honest with you.
Our industry?
I think all of it is.
Explain to me how this industry is built on risk reward. I don't disagree with her, by the way.
I'm not going to disagree with her.
We're broadcasting live.
Maybe I don't need
We're
to
broadcasting
explain it
live.
then.
There's a ton of risk reward right in that whole thing.
I mean,
right?
I think that it's a life challenge, you know, like what stimulus do you want? Or even in content generation, if you really look at what we're doing in making media or Instagram accounts or YouTube videos or Venmo, or Vimeo, like, what are you doing that makes you a little special?
I like you called it Venmo because
that's a payment thing.
I don't like the name Vimeo anyway.
But
it's kind of close to Vendome where I can get a beer.
But there's a certain element of like, what are you willing to suffer for? And if it means a lot to you, if you get good balance out of it, I personally get a lot of balance. And it's worth it for me to explore that edge.
So what you're saying is jumping out of a plane that's perfectly good that Eric might fly for you. He's a pilot, by the way.
I know. I'm very excited.
So hold on. Let me ask you something. You guys were talking off camera when I said she's a wingsuit pilot and all that. You started talking, oh, I'll fly the plane, but I'm not jumping out, which I agree with. And then she said, well, I'll jump out of the plane. You fly. Do you have to have a special pilot's license to let her jump out of the plane, or is it just you could just go up and
you have to
see you later, Trisha?
You got to be commercially rated because you're getting paid for it. But other than that, no.
Yeah, and we have to be very specific about airspace as well, especially as a
there are certain drop zones.
Yeah, like you do have to follow.
And I set to make a radio call that I'm dropping jumpers.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And where I land is very specific as well.
I never thought of all these things, but it's very interesting. And then, do you have to have a special aircraft? I mean, she can't just jump out of a...
As long as the door opens and there's not a prop behind me, and they can trim it enough, or my airspeed isn't going to smack me.
He doesn't like the idea of having somebody jump out of a plane he's flying. I can tell. He's like...
I've done stuff where we've been in a 182, no seats. And,
182s are great.
Drop, 4 jumpers in it, 5 jumpers in it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Bail them out.
Wow.
I just did my first military-style night jump.
What does that mean, a military... I know what a night jump is.
It's a sky van, so they have the drop back to them. Like, we think of any kind of join the army.
It looks like a giant truck with a fold-down rear door.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You jumped out the back of the plane.
Yeah, middle of the night. It was during training for the Canadian Skyhawks as well. They were running a couple of civilian loads.
Have you jumped out of the DC-9 at Paris?
I haven't done the DC-9, but I did do those at Paris, though. It was lovely. James Perez is our SMTA, and he was giving us the full treatment. It was rad.
You guys are geeks, but I love it.
But there is something about it. Like, it gives you balance. It's nice to have passions in life, and it's fun being in this world because, working with camera operators, working with lighting people, working with content generators, it's kind of fun to stick out a little bit in the huckery of life.
How did you get into this?
It was actually an accident.
It was definitely an accident.
It was a little bit of an
accident.
accident.
The door was unlocked. She fell out.
Yeah, no, I booked my first AFF at a trade event.
What's an AFF?
Accelerated free fall. So if you do want to become a licensed skydiver, there's a very specific progression. You don't just do it.
Right.
So I booked a non-refundable first jump course, drunk in Singapore during Broadcast Asia, and then realized my mistake. It was my 30th birthday.
Wow.
So it was my 30s have been good to me.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And so then wow. And so it was an accident. She did it, because it's just an impulse.
Well, like a friend of mine says, though, whistle for your fate, because Let's hope you're fate to join you on the journey. Otherwise, you wouldn't be you. So
Yeah.
That's what you
So,
do.
but you say it gives you balance. So that means like when you're up there, you have your thoughts and all that stuff, yeah.
I don't think about bills. I don't think about Cineo lighting. I don't think about like the dirty laundry at my house.
All right, I'm
just,
ready to
I'm
jump now.
enjoying my.
You just think, God, I
Yeah.
hope I packed the chute right.
Yeah, well, there's actually a lot of technical progression that's happening too. Like I might be really working on a specific focus and goal, and there's a lot of personal satisfaction when you get there. And it's just
I might have to get on a
amazing
wingsuit.
people.
I gotta tell you.
I did a documentary a long time ago with the Army Golden Knights, and they actually offered to have me exit the aircraft with them, and I was like, nope.
No.
You were like, GoPro hasn't been invented yet, but we're
Yeah.
gonna stick some camera on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. They were gonna take me out doing assisted jump. I was like, nope. I'm gonna wear the monkey harness that's attached to the steel cable and the shock absorber. And they're like, if you fall out, just make sure you salute over show center.
So it's funny you say that because I play hockey, and I find even when I play hockey, I'm thinking about Bills and BeTerrific and lighting and how we're gonna make this happen and all that stuff. I can't get away from it.
Try more yoga.
I should try more yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah. The watch is supposed to be helping me. It tells me to breathe like 8 times a day.
Yeah, what's with that? It's
I
like,
don't
I'm
know.
breathing already.
But by the way, I just go, oh yeah, I'll do that in a few minutes. Oh,
Why not?
but it's trying to get you into the mindset of meditating and stuff, which
Yeah.
I think is interesting. All right, so we're in this very high stress environment, high stress field, right?
Yep.
No matter what we're doing, live or non-live, it's always high stress, and so you use that to kind of escape a little bit. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, many people, if they were in front of a camera and talking in front of audiences, they might peak. Or if they had to stand up in front of a stage, be an actor and perform, they'll peak. But you learn how to harness it, and you no longer are peaking, but you're just executing it, and you flow, and then you trust yourself, you trust your instincts, you trust your capabilities. And it's no longer something that's terrifying, but something that feels a lot more elegant. And I think that we all put ourselves in those kinds of situations in our daily life, professionally, sport-wise, emotionally, relationships. And if you can really learn how to find that edge and embrace it rather than push it away, how beautiful is life then?
It is an
Pretty
edge,
cool.
though. It's a very fine line, and for her, it's a very dangerous fine line.
Yeah.
Do you ever worry?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. And
When you're going
fear
up
is healthy.
there, are you ever like this?
Fear is healthy.
Somehow this could be my last jump. Do you
No,
ever?
I'm not morbid in it,
Yeah.
but I do have
I
a
hope
very
not.
healthy sense of my equipment, my capabilities, my mental state, my physical state.
How often are
and
you
then
jumping?
people that I'm with as well.
How often are you jumping?
I probably do 5 to 10 a week.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
lot,
Wow,
right?
that's
Yeah, during
a lot.
season, like when the season's good.
A lot of hops.
But I've been training a little bit right now, so that helps.
Yeah. Well, you're really good at it. I've seen some videos, and I'm very impressed.
It sticks out.
And so this was like a year or two ago that you got into this.
Yeah, I've been at it for just shy of 4 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
very cool. And all right, so Cineo lighting, you guys make some really great, very powerful lights
Yeah.
that are reasonably priced, and they have you have the ability to change daylight, color temperature with filters, and I think that's kind of the magic that you guys have.
We focus on making lights that replicate skin tones and camera capture, first and foremost. There's a lot of different type of light in this world. Architectural lighting. We're in Vegas. Casino lighting. There's red, green, and blue everywhere. But in our world, it's all about how the camera sees the light, how the camera sees the person, not necessarily the eyeball. And the sensitivity curves in that are what we look at. In particular, deep reds. Because you'll appreciate this. We're all big bags of blood.
Yep.
That's what we are. And
Yep.
so what we're trying to do is get to that
Yep.
subdermal reflectance, and that's what health is. That's what blush is.
Yep.
If you look at it from evolutionary standpoints, our eyes are most sensitive to green. That's because meat, when it's moldy, is green. When somebody is sick and they have jaundice, they're green.
Well, it's also the spike in what the sun
Exactly.
emits
So
when it's filtered through.
red is healthy, green is not healthy. So we really focus on understanding that balance and how the camera reads it and how it interprets the state of our subject's being.
So you mentioned before you're going bigger and bigger with the lights.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's a perfect entree to Eric, because Eric is always on film sets and is all about lighting from a camera operator standpoint. So I thought
Sure.
maybe it'd be a good opportunity, because you kind of start out with smaller lights that would be great for sets like this and on-camera lights. And accent lights and all sorts of stuff, and now you're getting bigger and bigger,
Mm-hmm.
and that gets a little out of my wheelhouse and a little bit more into his. So.
Well, the
Perhaps.
interesting thing is, I mean, nowadays with cameras and camera sensitivity is we're coming away from the really huge lights.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we still need the things like the M18s for when we want to simulate sunlight blasting through a window or something like that, or light a city block at night.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, now it's we need lights in more sizes than what we used to have with just Mal Richardson and the incandescents. And the LED field is just, it's getting amazing because now the power efficiency, the watt to lumen ratio is getting so much better.
Absolutely. Yeah. Output's one side of the equation, but then the
But
physical
the-
aperture of the
Yep.
light is another
Yep.
thing, because you could have something that isn't necessarily a beast in terms of output, but it feels big, so it wraps
Right.
the subject
Right.
really nice.
And so, what are the like your lights? What is the output? And you always look at lumens now, I guess, right?
Yeah, we have fixtures that are 3 inches in size, these little itty bitty nuggets, to ones that are 75,000 lumens. They're
Wow.
4 foot by 4 foot. It'll hold a proper frame. We're starting to enter into color added. So white light is always our first and foremost priority. It's making that skin tone look good.
Right.
But people want control. The more we get into making these computers, essentially a light is a computer now, which is a fascinating concept. But the more we get into it, we want to put a little bit of red, a little bit of magenta, so, but not compromising the baseline.
Are they all DMX controllable?
Yeah, absolutely. And wireless as well. Lumen radio is pretty much a mainstay in anything new right now.
Wow,
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Get on your iPad and-
iPad control.
The
Yeah.
Luminaire app is pretty great.
And so,
I've seen people using Z-Wave controllers now to
Yeah.
control lights.
75,000 lumens.
That's a lot of light.
That's a lot of light. Now, these like the kinds that we have here on set are like 1,300 lumens. Is something that you have equivalent to this would be how many lumens? Just to give people an idea.
We have a 1,000 lumen fixture,
Okay.
the Maverick, which is next time.
Yeah.
Right here. I got you.
Thank
I got
you.
you, boo.
You're the best.
I got you.
I can't wait. This is what we need to do. We need to make the BeTerrific pop-up studio.
Yeah,
just
it'd be fun.
the BeTerrific pop-up Cineo studio.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're gonna do it. So those are 1,000 lumens, but is 1,300 lumens from these lights different from 1,000 with your lights because yours are more powerful, or because?
Well, it's like the garden hose
Yeah.
theory. So you have so many particles of water coming through the garden hose pressure at any given point in time. That doesn't really change. But when you get to the end of the hose, how are you adjusting your jet stream? So
This is
the
a
same
good analogy because you could
amount-
take your finger and spray it 8 different ways. You could have a
Absolutely.
hose that shoots it out. You could
So
have
there's
just
no more
nothing.
water in the hose. It's just, are you focusing it straight ahead, or are you trying to water the entire yard really soft?
And I think that that's what people don't think about. They don't really anymore. They don't really think about, is this a spot or a flutter or this or that, and they aren't. We're not even doing it here. We're not flagging
I think
lights
the
off.
problem is when people think about lights, they just think about brute force.
Yeah.
They think about, especially most people's idea of what a cine light is they're used to seeing anything, with an arc light from 1940s, which is literally a controlled short circuit. And people don't realize that if I get a very large source very close to you, it's softer than if I take that very large source and move it back.
Feels more specular.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if I move it back, say it's a 4 foot by 4 foot light, at 4 foot it's going to be very soft on you. At 12 foot, it starts becoming a point source and starts becoming a hard light.
This is why he's here.
I'm glad we met.
I think that's an excellent point, and that's, I guess, what I was trying to say, but without explaining it as well.
You can have, these lights you're saying 1,100 lumens.
Yeah.
You can have that 1,100 lumens in a 4 foot by 4 foot fixture. It's going to look very dim, but it's going to be very soft and very beautiful when you bring it up close.
Right, and the other thing is the difference is the fall off and stuff like that. Like a lot of LED lights like these that we're using have a very steep and quick fall off. Yours don't have such a
Inverse
Actually,
square is math.
all lights have the same fall off. It's the inverse square law. The easiest way to remember it is you have a butter gun.
A what?
And a butter gun, and you want to butter 4 slices of toast. Put 4 slices of toast out. Butters all 4 slices of toast with 1 tablespoon of butter. Now, if you move the butter gun back, double the distance, 1 foot. Now, you butter gun 16 slices of toast with the same amount of butter. Inverse square law.
Rules of 4. Physics.
All right.
Physics apply to lighting, and they definitely apply to wingsuits, too.
The butter gun was taught to me by my physics teacher, Jack Wiegers.
I was going to say.
When I was in high school.
And butter.
We became even better friends. Like, we can have a physics geek out. I'm so happy.
Now you're going to steal it and use the butter gun, aren't you?
Mostly because it's delicious.
I know. Tell me about it.
I just want to know why I didn't pick peanut butter. I don't know.
More viscous.
Doesn't splatter well.
You guys are a lot of fun. Doesn't splatter well. He's a splatter. He might as well be a splatter expert
The art
at this
is
point.
splatter expert, absolutely.
I did a show about a splatter expert. Actually, spatter, not splatter.
It's spatter?
Spatter. That's
Spatter.
true.
Spatter.
It is
It was a blood spatter.
How did
analyst.
they do those scenes in Dexter? Did a real spatter expert come in and spray the blood, or just some?
We actually did have a forensic consultant that came in every once in a while, but usually it was Josh Metzler, our prop guy, and half the time, anytime you see a blood pool, it's a jelly because it beats the heck because it doesn't get sticky on the floor, and it's literally they roll it out and put it on the floor.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a giant fruit roll-up.
Did you know that?
No, that's pretty smart, though.
It is. That's genius.
Start seeing like the same jelly in different places. You're like, that's suspiciously familiar. Spatter.
Why does that puddle of blood look the same as that puddle of blood over there?
It really helps it so you don't walk through it like I did one time in a house where they're like, yeah, don't get any blood on the floor because you'll have to regrout it, and it's going to be like a $20,000 regrout job.
No, you didn't do it.
No, I stepped, the blood went the wrong way. I stepped in it. I realized that it was on my right shoe, so as I'm backing up, I kick my right shoe off, and I finished the scene with one shoe on and one shoe off. And I never did it, and we didn't have to cut. We got the scene, and everybody was like, "Wow, that was cool."
Well played, sir.
Yeah.
Well played.
We should have done it with Cineo lighting. It would have been even cooler. I don't know.
Was Cineo, how long has Cineo Lighting been in business?
About 5 years now. Yeah.
Not
Not
long enough
quite
for
there.
Dexter,
Yeah,
no.
we were just starting
Yeah,
our little mad
we
scientists.
We finished 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I
Yeah.
wish it was still
Tell me
on.
about it.
I wish it was still on. It's a great show.
It really was.
It was fun.
And Cineo is an amazing company.
Yeah,
You're going to go to the booth now.
I'm walking over to the booth
Yeah.
as soon as we're done.
Tell her what we need for Broadway Bartender.
All right.
You want to
Yeah.
do Broadway Bartender with us?
I do.
Look at
This
that.
is what I do.
This is great.
I love
Alright, cool.
this.
We'll put a little
make my shopping list up.
We'll put a little lit by Cineo lighting.
All right.
Perfect.
Yes. She's Trisha Mass from Cineo Lighting, cineolighting.com. He is Eric Fletcher, and I'm Michael Artsis. You are the Terrifics. We'll be back with a whole lot more right after this. Stay with us. Your live continuing coverage of NAB 2017.